What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to FAMcast. This is episode 26. I'm Trevor, and I'm here with Zach, Wynn, and Trey today. And we have a pretty gaming-filled weekend. We just finished the Game Awards a couple days ago. That was exciting. PSX just kicked off last night, which was not so exciting. And we've got Capcom Pro Tour all weekend, so there's tons of stuff going on. But we're kind of taking a quick break in between that all to talk about what we've seen so far and what we're excited for. So to kick it off, the Game Awards, as always, were a fantastic time. A great way to look back at the year in gaming that we had and look forward to some new announcements, namely Death Stranding that won't be out for another 10 to 20 years. But to have you guys kind of to kick it off and see what you guys thought. Zach, what was your most exciting part of the Game Awards the other night?
Probably the pizza that we ate.
That's true. The pizza, all six pizzas.
All six pizzas.
Jeez,
I bet you guys still have freaking pizza.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking some for lunch tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds so good. I think my favorite, I don't know. There were several. I'm really intrigued to see what the whole Shadows Die Twice thing is from Software.
It's Tenchu.
I feel the same way, Trey. I've been reading some articles about it. I do think it's Tenchu. I'm excited by the Death Stranding trailer, obviously. I mean, I think that's going to be on all of our lists to some degree.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just
it's just Hideo Kojima. Or however you say it.
Hideo Kojima.
My best friend. Thank you very much.
Your best friend. You met him one time.
Yeah.
And, I explained that to my wife. She goes, "So who is this guy anyway?" I was like, "Oh no, he's like this huge game developer."
He's basically video game Jesus.
And she goes, "Okay," and because I was explaining how you met him, and how it was a dream come true kind of thing, and she at first just couldn't grasp it, and I was like, "No, trust me, it's like meeting your favorite actor or your favorite author or director or something. This dude is in charge of essentially a massive part of your enjoyment in life, and the thing that draws you to your favorite medium." And so I don't know, man. I was happy with a bunch of stuff. I'm excited to try Bayonetta on the Switch when that comes out. They announced that.
Yeah.
There was something else that they announced, and I can't remember what it was, but I know there's another thing that they announced that I was super excited about. I can't remember, but I'm sure it'll come up. But I was happy with most of the games that won. I was surprised that they just glossed over some of the game-winning stuff, like Best RPG. Yeah. They were just like, hey, boom, Best RPG. I'll tell you what, though, my favorite part of the entire night, in all reality, was the achievement award. I can't remember the achievement in game development when they had that woman who was the first game
Carol
developer.
Shaw.
Yeah. First game developer to ever have her name on a cartridge, I guess, or something like that. Obviously it meant a great deal to me because I can remember all the specifics. But yeah, I just thought it was a really cool moment, and I thought it was really neat to look back because you don't realize that those old Atari games were one person coding things.
Oh yeah.
We're just used to the idea of these multi-person teams that build games, and I just thought it was a cute moment. I thought it was a very heartwarming moment, and I think we need more of that in gaming because gaming is an art form. It's a medium for storytelling, and I think sometimes gamers get in the way of that purity, if you will. I'm being a little artsy fartsy right now, but yeah, there you go.
No, I feel you. I agree with you on that. I think people need more recognition for the excellent work that they do instead of yep, this game is really good. He did a good job. Whereas, the Game Awards, they sit down and they're like, this is that and the other thing, The art was really good. The actors that were all in it were amazing, and I think that's what makes video gaming important to me,
Oh, 100%. And I like the fact that they had categories that you weren't really looking for.
Right.
What was it? Most impactful game or something like that?
Social Impact Award.
The Social Impact Award. So they were games that were very story-driven heavily, obviously. But they were what's that? Blood.
Hellblade.
Setsuna's. Yeah, I can't remember the name. It's Hellblade.
Yeah, Hellblade.
They talked about that, and did that win it? I think,
Yeah.
or was it Night in the Woods?
No,
No, it was
it
Hellblade.
was Hellblade, yeah.
Okay, well,
Because the guy got up for that, and then the girl won for best performance.
yes, and they also won sound design.
Yeah.
And I just like that kind of thing that they have in a category just for games that appeal on a level of building empathy for certain situations or complexes. Like that one has a lot to do with mental health and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just think that's really fucking cool, and it shows that we're reaching a new level, I think, with gaming, which I've talked a whole bunch. So Trey, what was your favorite part of the night other than opening Hearthstone packs? Heyo!
Heyo. Yeah, that was a good time. I got all the good cards. My favorite thing was, Soul Calibur 6. I
Yeah.
think that was the hype, the pinnacle point of last night. But I will say that some of the awards were pretty good. Yeah, I think the Carol Shaw thing, like you guys were saying, was emotion driven. I don't know how to. What's the word I'm looking for?
It was very. It tugged on the strings. Of
Yeah,
your
it
heart.
tugged on the strings. It tugged on the heartstrings. It was really good. Because I wasn't entirely sure who she was until they explained it, and I was like, oh, okay, well
Yeah.
that makes sense.
The video
all the
they did
games
was really good.
Oh
too.
God, yeah, very touching.
Yeah, well, touching in the art direction, like the cinematography of the
Mhm.
video, I thought was like they have right at the end, she's sitting at a desk playing an Atari 2600, and they gradually pull out through the rooms in her house, and then I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm a nerd for some of that stuff, so I liked it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I think the best fighting game award should have went to Tekken 7, but that's just me. I know it was all fan based voting, but I think Tekken 7 deserves it more than Injustice did. But
Right.
Whatever. I wish they didn't gloss over some of these awards. I wish they kind of went through the steps and the process like everything else did.
Yep.
Because they were like, oh yeah, and by the way, this won this award. Okay, and we're gonna talk about this.
It
And I
was
was just
super,
like, oh,
by the way.
well.
It was upsetting. Like, best art, they were like, oh, and best RPG was won by Persona 5. Moving on. And
Right,
it was just
anyways.
like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Yeah, it's a little upsetting, but other than that, I mean, it was a good show. I feel like Jeff did a good job getting all these new people, or getting all these like awards, or getting all the trailers and stuff, like the exclusive, the world premieres.
Yeah.
He did a damn good job about that. Of course, Death Stranding was. Ooh, I'm sure we'll get into it, but man, so damn good. Kojima-san is genius.
Battery's completely fucking bonkers. One or the other, although they say the genius and insanity.
Yeah, I'd say he's a little bit of both, but that man is a legend.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Oh,
There's a lot of stuff I didn't expect from the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So like Bayonetta,
Oh yeah.
I didn't expect to see that on the Switch,
didn't
but
expect
it's
to see
a
anything
very very happy surprise.
Reggie.
So they showed off 1 and 2, and then what was it? Reggie was like, oh yeah, we've got one more thing,
Got
and
one more thing, and he snaps his fingers and rolled it.
yeah,
It was pretty baller move.
it was pretty good.
I love Reggie. Like Reggie feels Ame. That's his full name, right?
Fizame.
Oh, Fizame? Is
That's
that
how you
Yeah.
pronounce it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. He's just like my favorite anything in
Okay.
in gaming. Like I
He's-
don't know. Spokesperson, I guess.
He's quite the character.
He is.
Yeah, it was pretty cool when they switched over, because they showed the big moon for like Bayonetta again, but then like it switched, and for like a brief second I'm like, wait, is this Metroid? Are they showing Metroid finally?
Yeah.
But then they did the little crack thing in the moon, and it made a 3. I was like, I will definitely take a Bayonetta 3
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely.
So it'll be cool to have the Bayonetta games back. I never even played the second one.
Yeah, I didn't either because it was on the Wii U and I never got a Wii U.
I
Yeah.
haven't played any of them, so this will be a
Dude,
whole
they're
new
so
experience
good.
for me.
They were awesome. Me and Trey used to play that quite a bit, if I remember right.
Think Devil May Cry, but you're gonna have a boner the entire time.
Who says I don't have a boner the entire time I play Devil May Cry anyway?
Fair enough. I mean, Dante's a good-looking dude. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
dude. Never wears a shirt under that jacket. I mean, come on. Anyway, sorry.
No, it was cool to get a Nintendo announcement. I don't think anybody saw that.
No, definitely not.
Plus, speaking of Nintendo, they showed off the DLC, which the DLC itself wasn't a surprise. We knew it was coming in December, but the fact that it launched that night was really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And they showed
so it was cool to.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say it was cool to see more of like what the DLC pack offered, like the different costumes and stuff. We're gonna have I think it's like a master dungeon, or I forget what like their term for it, but it's like a really difficult dungeon. And then we had that fucking motorcycle that looks badass.
The Master Cycle Zero,
yeah,
I think is what it's called.
Yeah, Master Cycle Zero. They said that all the other champions had their divine beast, so they said this is like Link's divine beast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as what Nintendo showed off, that definitely two awesome surprises there.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I forgot was PUBG.
Oh yeah, dude.
PUBG release date or the 1.0 announcement, and map on PTRs, and then they. I guess we already knew that 12/12 was when it's coming to early access on Xbox.
Yep.
But
right.
It was still pretty exciting. And I've heard that the map stuff is pretty fantastic, or the new map and
the new map is
all the stuff on the test run is really good.
Amazing. It feels like a complete game. Like FPS is amazing. I mean, I've had some networking glitches here and there, but it comes with a 100-player game. But other than that, the UI is completely different.
Yeah.
The home screen is completely different, and it runs so much better. The new map is great. All the new weapons and vehicles are fun. I'm excited.
There's a truck. It's looking like 2 people right in front, 2 people right in the back. It looks so cool.
I'm so excited.
Sorry, I kind of interrupted you there, Trevor. I apologize, dude.
No, I was. It's okay. I get used to it, Zach. Don't worry. I was just gonna ask
moving
for.
On, no, I'm not.
For the Xbox version of PUBG, that is not launching with a desert map, correct?
It
is not.
No.
Okay. No. Which I'm okay with. I'm still excited to play it on Xbox. I know Tim's gonna get it on there.
Comes out Tuesday.
If I buy it, yeah, me and Trey will split it, and then if you and Will go halvesies on it, we'll have a full party on there.
We'll have one extra.
Yeah, we'll have one extra.
Yeah, that's fine. There's always someone that's busy doing something.
Yeah.
It'll be the one game we're all on for and can't all play together.
Yeah, exactly. The one game that everybody always wants to play.
Yeah. I'll have to figure that out.
But talking, kind of going along with the other announcements, so Soul Calibur 6 was a really exciting announcement. I know Trey and Will both freaked out.
Yep.
They did.
Definitely have to get that clipped on our Twitch highlights. But yeah, it was really cool. It'd been rumored for like the longest time that we were going to see it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like seeing it in action was really cool. If I remember right, Soul Calibur 2 was like one of my very first fighting games.
Yeah, I believe it. That or Smash Brothers.
Well, yeah. As far as I don't know how. I don't know the terminology, but it feels like I want to say like a true fighting game.
Oh,
like Smash is kind of like its own
like a party fighter
category, Yeah.
Yeah.
So Soul Calibur 2 was like my first game, like my first fighting game, and I always enjoyed it. It was cool coming up with the different combos, but never as competitive as like Will or Zach with Will or Trey with the fighting games. So growing up with Soul Calibur 2 and 3, I'm really excited to see where 6 goes. I actually never touched 4 or 5.
That's okay. You didn't need to.
Right. It
was bad times.
Yeah, that's what I always heard, and that's why I avoided them.
Am I just really?
But yeah, hopefully we get that maybe some more guest characters. I've heard like a Fire Emblem character is rumored for the Switch version.
There is no Switch version.
Are you sure there's not going to be like a surprise later on down the road?
I mean, it wasn't in the ending screen thing, the end card. It just said Xbox and PlayStation. And Steam.
Right, but you know how they always do like announcements later on, like also coming to Switch. Like Nintendo would have it like its own separate trailer.
Maybe we'll see.
And then we've got that mystery fighter that we don't know if it's a new character or a guest character.
Do you have any idea of who it might be, Trey?
No idea. I have not a clue.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think the other one that had us all guessing was that Tenchu / Bloodborne teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it shows it's just like a 10-second clip for those who haven't seen it. It's just like this. It looks like what I thought it was. It looks like a torture device. Like this thing's like with rope and it's like turning, and it's like making these weird noises. It's all bloody, but there's like some like Japanese writing in the background on some parchment. So we all started saying it was Bloodborne at first, but then Will found out some stuff that he said it was Tenchu, and then Trey got on board with it.
He said it was Bloodborne 2 at first.
Well, I thought he was the one that found out that was you?
It was me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a lot going on that night. I apologize. So Trey says it's Tenchu, then Will gets on board with it because he's listening to Maximilian, so he's like following along with him, looking at all these clues. But then Will said something today that, what was it? He said it wasn't Tenchu, and he was going back to Bloodborne again. Yeah. So Will's kind of all over the place. Trey's pretty locked into Tenchu, though.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. Just because, like, I understand the, what was his name? The creator, Miyazaki, was in the crowd for Bloodborne.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was there the entire time. And I guess when the trailer happened, I don't know. There's a bunch of, like, rumors that it may be Bloodborne 2, but I'm sticking to Tenchu.
I mean, the good news is, and Tim was the one that brought this point up, no matter who's right, like, we win.
Right, we get a new game.
Like, it's a cool announcement regardless.
Yeah. I'd love a new Tenchu game. Man, I would love another Bloodborne too. Like, I am deep into that game right now, and I love it. And,
yeah, I still need to play it.
Will pointed out the kanji in the background. So if it is a Bloodborne game, it doesn't look like it would be Victorian England. It looked like
we talked about that.
Something like feudal Japan or something like that, maybe. Which is exciting because I like the idea of taking something like Onimusha Warlords and then making it a Dark Souls game. Is pretty damn cool.
I think the only thing they have to be careful of is to not make Nier 2.
True.
You know? Or Neo 2.
Neo 2.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Nier 2. Hey, if they make a Nier 2, that's fine. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Have you gotten Nier out yet?
I installed it today because I just beat Assassin's Creed Origins last night.
Oh, nice. How was it?
Really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So now that that's off my list, I feel comfortable moving on. Started Wolfenstein today. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna keep my interest.
So you played all of like 10 minutes and put it down.
Yeah, but it's also been kind of like a weird day. I haven't really like been able to focus on any one thing other than Monster Hunter. Like now, all I want to do is play Monster Hunter.
Dude.
Yes.
But I might switch over to Nier. I'm kind of in like an RPG kind of mood, so I might start that next. Because Persona 5 is definitely last on my list because that's gonna take the most time.
Yes, 100% that's going to take the most time. The key is just to like put a game in your console and just play that game. Don't jump around. Like I never like when I do that, I never get anything played. But speaking of well, I guess we should talk about Death Stranding before we get off of the Game Awards.
Yes.
So there's a small developer known as is it Kojima Games? Is that what it is? Kojima Creative?
Kojima Productions.
Kojima Productions, a small indie developer called Kojima Productions, and they put out this a little trailer that Trevor seems to be very excited about. Why don't you tell us about it, Trevor?
So I don't know what to say to you, Zach. I'm so disappointed.
Anymore?
Right. I'm super excited for Death Stranding. I think we got the first announcement. Was it last year at the Game Awards? Yep. Where they showed off the first trailer. We got a second trailer at E3. Basically, this was the third trailer. I don't remember when the second one dropped. And nobody has any idea what's going on. Like even the people that are involved with the game, like they have no clue what's happening.
Yeah. Norman Reedus.
But this new trailer definitely. Right. This new trailer definitely had like the most detail out of all the trailers, I think, as far as like hints as far as what's going on. So Norman Reedus' character Sam, he seems to be involved in some sort of like corpse disposal unit. They have like one corpse there with like a gold skull mask, which is already like another interesting part that nobody has any idea what it means. and there's two other guys. One of them is like crushed under this truck, so something happened. But then like they go over to the guy crushed under the truck, and he starts to like age really fast. So already another aspect that nobody has an idea what it has to do with anything. Mm-hmm. And then you see these handprints, these oily handprints, kind of walking along. They're little like ghost detectors flashing and shit, and they have to like not breathe. So for whatever reason, like breathing, they detect that, whatever.
Yeah.
So the thing like goes away, and then I forget what happens next. I think they like drag the dude away. Because the guy makes a noise. They drag the dude away. These like oily hands like come out of the ground, and they pull him away. His partner like shoots him before they can get away with him. So whatever these things are, they want these people alive, because they lost all interest once the dude is dead. So they want real people or living people for something.
It seems like they're harvesting them or something like that.
Right. And I've heard so many fucking theories. Like they're just all over the place, and who knows if any bit of them are true.
Right.
The other interesting part was their life bracelets. Because soon after the guy shoots them, everything starts to go like inverted. Like the one guy, he has the little baby container. He throws it to Norman Reedus, and then he tries to like shoot himself, but it doesn't work because then gravity just goes haywire. Dude is like stabbing himself in the chest, and you see his bracelet go from blue to red. I don't even know what to say. Like everything just flipped.
There's too much to go over.
Yeah, there really is. Because then there's like this giant. I will say this: there's this giant behemoth that has like this umbilical
cord.
Yeah. Anemone.
Umbilical cord.
And it's got like this giant like hand-like head. So like the dude like floats up and like eats them. There's this giant explosion, but it has like marionette fingers, which I think is really interesting because we see these
smaller
strands.
Figures.
Well, I was gonna say these strands.
Yes.
Kind of tied to everything. So we see it in the text that they use, but also in that final scene, we see this giant crater with all these like dark strands. So are these like strands like tethers to this alternate dimension, this upside down world?
Can I jump in here?
Where these for sure.
So this is my theory I was talking about earlier. So it's called Death Stranding. Yep. Obviously, you see the strands in the title. You see the strands on the hands. But like it's not just in that trailer. Like it's in everything. In the first trailer, oh wait, not the first trailer. I'm thinking of the second trailer. The second trailer with Mads Mikkelsen. Like he has those Mikkelsen, whatever. I'm so bad with names, dude. He has like he's connected to the other soldiers that he's commanding or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the strands like pull back. When Norman Reedus walks up to the ocean, that might be the first trailer. There's a bunch of like, they look like large umbilical cords coming out of the ocean, in like next to the animals that are like laid up on the side. Like it's all over the place. So maybe this thing is like some kind of alien entity that is just like latched into everything. You know what I mean? That's probably nothing like solid, but like I'm new to all of this. Like I haven't watched these trailers until this past week because apparently I live under a goddamn rock. But
pretty much.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. I'm super pumped, and that's I don't know. I don't have a clue. I didn't.
So you bring up an interesting point though, because you mentioned the marine life, right?
Yeah. What's
up
with that?
That's been a solid theme throughout all three of these trailers. Yeah. They all have like dying marine life. Like you see it in the first one with the crabs, then it goes to the beach and there's like whales and everything washed up. So I think it's interesting that we see. Like, whatever this is, it seems to have a really big impact on the aquatic life on Earth. And even at the end of the third trailer, you see that giant crater. It doesn't look like an explosion crater. It looks more like a body of water was, like, drained or something.
Yeah, it does.
So
it also
with
looks like
that, and then with everything being oily, I wonder if there's some sort of, I don't know. Like when you think of like oil spills, you always think of like the marine life that like goes first, that's like harmed first. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if like the oil and the marine life, like if that has like any sort of like I don't know, any tie together. Because it seems weird that it's everything is oily. Like it's not just like shadowy. It's very much like an oily texture.
It's got like a black viscous kind of liquid thing to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious to see if that has any any ties together. But then you go down a completely different path, and then there's babies involved.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck are the babies? So like the babies power their like little ghost detector things, which is weird to begin with. You're using babies for fuel.
Well, it's just like a baby right now. We don't know if there's multiple ones or what.
Well, Norman had his pack. The dude on top of the truck had his own. So there's definitely multiples.
Did Norman have his own pack?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, because remember he throws it. The other guy throws it to him.
That's
the same baby though.
That's the same baby. Yeah.
Okay, but what about the guy that lands on the truck? He has his own.
Okay, hang on.
Oh,
I'm scrubbing through the video right now, but continue talking.
Okay, don't take my word for it.
I think you might be right now that I think about it. It's hard to make out though at the same time. I will say that because that guy's kind of shadowed together. But yeah, that guy does which Trey said he thinks it's Mad's character, which makes sense. If that is the case.
Okay, the dude on the truck.
I don't even know.
They definitely do the same gesture.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, these babies are like the source of power for their ghost detectors for whatever reason. One of the theories I've seen is I've seen two different ones. I've seen like a clone theory that these babies are like a form of like a clone of like dying and rebirth, which seems a little too far-fetched for me, but also it's Kojima, so I'm not writing anything off at this point.
Right.
But then I've also seen like a time travel element to it as well, because some people are saying that there's like two Sams in the trailer. So as far as like it being like two different, I don't know.
He does have a baby on his chest. Okay.
That would make sense. The time travel thing with the whole like the guy aging rapidly all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. When there's the whole thing where the blood, when he's leaking blood when he starts to back up, and it starts to hiss. And
it's like acidic.
Yeah. And it's like, whoa, what's going on with that, dude? There's just too much to unpack, and like it's fun to kick around ideas, but
I love talking about it.
Will even be.
I think that's like you said, that's the fun part about it. Like nobody has any idea. Like you can have whatever solid guess you think you may have, but there's no way to tell that you're right. Same thing with like the Bloodborne thing. Like we can like say it's Tenchu or we can say it's Bloodborne, but there's no way to say like whether it is or it isn't until they actually announce it. You know?
Yeah.
Also,
so I think that's what's cool about these kinds of trailers. Yep. Like you get to like make it your own thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like that is the way to make a trailer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say, at the end of the trailer, that the crater that we're talking about, or like the body of water, there's a giant handprint inside of said crater.
Yeah, I saw people say that on Reddit too. They said that it looks like a handprint.
Mm.
And then there's the 5 figures. We don't know what those are at all.
Yeah, it's always those 5. Same thing with them being on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, I'm sure it's going to be a masterful storytelling as usual from Kojima. I'm excited for it to be his very first game with his own company now. So I'm sure he's putting everything he can into this.
And Mark Cerny says it is playable. He says after 4 hours of playing that game, he starts to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else caught that.
Wait, who said that?
Like,
someone's played it?
Mark Cerny.
Who's Mark Cerny? I'm sorry.
One of the PlayStation dudes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he's like, after playing it for about 4 or 5 hours, I finally started to understand it a little bit.
I love it.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm completely okay with that. I'm okay with jumping into this game and not knowing a thing about what's going on.
I love a little mystery in the games, man.
I hope the mystery stays the entire time as well. Like I'll keep up with like theories and stuff, but as soon as like people start like, I don't know, leaking like story information, that's when I'm done. Like I want to go into this completely blind.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There's also that what was that game that came out or that they showed? Witchfire?
That looked really cool too.
Yeah, it was like
that was interesting.
It was like a Doom meets Bloodborne meets Demon Souls with, I don't know, fast-paced shooting of the Doom. I don't know, it just looked really cool.
Yeah, it looked like...
I like the art style.
It's a very cool art style. So it was a first-person shooter that had a very dark art style, almost kind of like that Victorian England kind of thing that Bloodborne has going on, I think. I don't know, man. Like, they showed it looked very fast-paced, and it looked very exploratory. What was the... Like, when they started to show it off, they were like, from the creators of this game, and so you're like, oh, okay, it's going to be like a story-driven game, whatever, and then they're like, but also Serious Sam and something else, and it's like, oh, okay. It's gonna be,
all right,
it's gonna
sure.
Be, yeah, it's going to be a crazy shooter, too. All right, cool. I can't remember what the developer was, and it's killing me right now. But, yeah, Witchfire was really good. I think the issue was it was like we started to talk about it, but it was so overshadowed by the guy, the guy that came up right afterwards that said "fuck the Oscars," and clearly was on something or off his ass on doing something.
Oh my gosh!
He was like, that was so cringy. You could tell Jeff Keighley was
he was getting
not
pissed.
pleased. Which,
yeah, not at all.
while we're on the subject of Jeff Keighley, I know we always give, or at least I do, I always give crap to the game awards, the video game awards, because there's some pretty cheesy moments. You've got, you're used to the Oscars where they have actors and actresses and they know how to present themselves, versus like now you've got a bunch of game developers which are, I don't like stereotypes, but to some degree sometimes maybe a little less socially inclined than other people or whatnot.
Sure.
And they can come off super cringy. That being said, there were some moments that I felt were a little weird, but overall, man, I love the video game award. And like I'm so happy that someone actually does this and takes the medium and does an award show for it. Like, it's a good thing for us as gamers. Like,
it is.
We need that.
It almost what's the word? It kind of solidifies it as an actual medium.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that like some people will say like, oh, it's a medium. Like, no one's arguing that anymore. But I feel like it is still an argument. Like, it's still like something you have to say, well, video games are art too. Like I think it's
a generational thing too.
It really is.
Definitely.
Because I think our grandparents and parents, for the most part, see them from what we saw when we played them. It was Mario, and you ran right on the screen, and you jumped on mushrooms and all that other stuff.
Right.
Jumped on mushrooms?
Yeah, exactly. Or Goombas, I apologize. They were shaped like a little. But whereas now they're like they can be that still. They can be simple and just a fun game. Or they can be like chaotic stories that rip your heart out and stomp on it. Mm-hmm. Also known as The Last of Us. Jesus. Anyway, but I just wanted to say that though, because like I feel like, and I do crap on the Game Awards a lot, but I also think it provides a very important service and something that we need as gamers.
Definitely.
But
it's just a good way to celebrate all the hard work that everyone put into these games for the past year.
Yeah. It is.
It's nice to just kind of, especially with what we did, like getting everyone together and kind of watching it as a group and kind of talking about these different games that we played throughout the year. It was just a nice experience. I'm glad we got to do that.
Oh, it was awesome, dude. I had so much fun doing that. And it's like, I've never had like an Oscar party. I know that they exist.
Right.
But like I've never been interested in having one. But like something like this, hell yeah. Like have my friends over and play or eat food and watch video game stuff. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think I would much rather do this every year instead of an Oscar party, because I honestly I just go to watch movies. I don't care if it's like, oh, best actor.
Yeah.
For so and so. Best whatever for this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, I play video games more than anything else. If I'm gonna get excited about anything, it's gonna be about video games.
Oh, 100%.
It'll be even nicer next year at the Fam House.
Oh yes. Even on top of that, like the Oscars, you're not getting special trailers for anything. They're not announcing anything cool.
No, they're not.
They just have
it's definitely a different
Pepsi
kind of
commercials that about Emmys and the Oscars or anything like that. It's just like video game awards. We got gameplay trailers. We got story trailers. It's exciting.
Hype.
It's all hype.
I do wish they would kind of find the balance there, though, because we got a lot of cool announcements, but like Zach was saying earlier, they rushed a lot of the awards.
Yeah.
Like they would just, without even announcing it, like you wouldn't know what's going on, and all of a sudden Jeff just announced like 4 different award winners. You're like, what just happened?
Yeah, like we would miss it because we would be talking about stuff, like award stuff, and then they'd just be like, "Oh, by the way," like it was just so I don't know. And then, like I don't know, I felt like some of the presenters were actually the only presenter I felt was lackluster. Was Aisha Tyler. Is it Taylor or Tyler? I can't remember.
I don't care.
Aisha, the girl that plays Lana in Archer.
Mm-hmm.
Like she just seemed like she didn't want to be there. And I saw her at the Ubisoft one, and she actually seemed like she was enjoying that. So I don't know, like, what's up with that. Maybe the game
probably because she was getting paid
enough. Yeah. That's exactly what I thought. But yeah, she definitely didn't seem enjoyed it all. But other than that, yeah,
it's Cuphead.
That's exactly what she said. It's Cuphead. Okay, like she just I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I still thought it was a good experience. And I look forward to more Death Stranding stuff. I need to play through Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I think
so does Trey.
Me and Trevor should go through all the Metal Gears again, like story-wise.
Yeah.
Chronologically, lorology-wise, that
would be pretty cool.
I think that'd be fun.
That would be very cool because they're a clusterfuck. Or at least they seem to be. Like, everything I see about him is like, well, no, this is Big Boss, and this guy's a clone of this guy. And it's like, wait, what?
It's not a clusterfuck.
It
it's pretty understandable.
Like, okay. Maybe I've never sat down and, like, whittled it out, I guess. But,
I mean, no, I agree with you, Zach. It's definitely very, for someone that hasn't, like, played the games or, like, gotten to know these characters, it's definitely, like, very overwhelming. Yeah. So I agree with you there.
I started to move on to something earlier, and I can't remember.
Monster Hunter?
Oh, Monster Hunter. Yeah, because Trevor mentioned that we played Monster Hunter. How freaking good and enjoyable was that Monster Hunter beta, guys?
It was amazing. Good. That was your guys' first Monster Hunter, right?
I've dabbled, but I've never really gotten into it with friends. So, yes. I'm going to say yes, because, like, I barely played. Yeah. I was just so impressed with, like, so obviously they give you, like, high-end gear to try out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it still felt fun. Like, sometimes I find games that when you get super powerful, you're not really... Sorry, excuse me, I apologize. It's not really fun anymore. Like, you're just killing stuff, and it's done, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it still felt like a challenge, and the co-op was fun, and I'm excited to see what items you can make. Like, they showed off a couple traps. Like, we had a lightning trap. Yeah. And it would stun the whatever creature we were hunting. But I'm super impressed with it, and I'm super looking forward to it. And it's open world. It doesn't have the
single screen.
The load breaks. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably my... I mean, obviously it's a gorgeous game, but I think that's the most important thing to me is the open world feeling to it.
Yeah.
Just because like going through loading screens kind of breaks the immersion to me.
100%.
But yeah, man, like even like all like the smaller wildlife you'd see running around, and it really gave it like life.
Well, and they're timed missions, so like we were running through and trying to get stuff done as quickly as possible. But imagine when we're like, oh, I need stone to make this, to craft this new piece of armor.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
I'm excited to start with a stick.
Yeah, exactly. Like start with a stick.
It's gonna be so good.
Learn to sharpen it and start hunting shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dude. I'm definitely looking forward to some late game nights with that one.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
All kinds of fam nights for that one.
Even just for a demo, it was fantastic. Even just the first mission, even though it was easy, it was still so exciting to just like run around and then be like, oh, I found it. And then we start taking it down, laying traps and chasing it, jumping on top of its head and all kinds of stuff.
That was so cool.
It was a lot of fun.
But we got that, and then dude, freaking Dragon Ball Z Fighters comes out on the same day. It's not.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Not even fair. Not even.
I feel bad for Monster Hunter. Like I'm not gonna be playing Monster Hunter. I'm probably gonna be focused in on Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I gotta get I want to get it on Xbox just because I won't have a PS4. But I need to get a fight stick for it. Otherwise, I'm gonna get it on PC, which I won't be able to stream it if that's the case. But I'll cross that. But I'm super.
You'd be surprised. Fighting games aren't that like graphically heavy.
No, but there's a lot of movement, and I'm worried about it encoding the video fast enough.
Wow.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I plan on getting it on PC anyway because my brother's getting it on PC. So
Okay.
we like to play against each other and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Geez, what else is going on in your guys' life with gaming? You just beat Assassin's Creed. What have you been up to, Trey?
Yep.
Not much. Been playing PUBG because of the new map. Loving that. Monster Hunter. Been watching CPT. It's been pretty crazy. Yeah, it's been pretty awesome.
Any big highlights so far?
A lot of big name players actually got sent to losers bracket.
Really, just a lot of
and it's going on right now, so I'm missing out on some. But I don't know.
So you're like, let's wrap this podcast up.
Yeah.
I saw where Justin Wong got to like use an Infinity Stone.
Oh my god.
To change someone's controller inputs. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this tournament.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's a neat idea. It really is. But I think you start putting money on the line for stuff, I think something like that's a little crazy.
He got an Infinity Stone to change someone's controller inputs?
Yeah, so with the Battle for the Stones, there's tournaments that lead up to this tournament that's going on right now. And each player, there's some players that have that have Infinity Stones. So like Justin had the Reality Stone, and since he used it, and it lets you change your opponent's button inputs, which I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Another one's like you start off with it's the Power Gem. The Power Gem gets you, you start off with the first hit and the first combo in the match. So like as your opponent, like I use it on you, Zach. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna use my Power Stone on you, and I'm basically starting the match off and you're at like half health.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's just.
It's like, why even bother having the match at that point? Like, you know who's gonna win.
No,
I mean, not necessarily. It's Marvel. I mean, there's always the comeback. But
can they change the Infinity, the one that lets you change your buttons? Is that just for one match, or is that for the whole?
Yeah, it's just for one match.
Okay. I didn't know if it was for, like... Because they have, like, a best 2 out of 3 or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's pretty cool looking. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like that idea. But other than that, man, I love watching fighters. Like, there's a
it's
whole
pretty hype.
different level of strategy that doesn't exist in other games. I mean, it's like footsies. When I asked you earlier what... Because they kept talking about footsies.
Uh-huh.
And for those that don't know... Well, Trey, what is it?
It's basically like the spacing, knowing your spacing. So you say you throw out a light punch that only goes so far, but I throw out a light punch that's farther. That's footsie. So it's like knowing your spacing in between you and your opponent.
Okay, interesting. Like you don't have. I mean, spacing is huge in any kind of competitive game, I guess. But
yeah,
or a lot of them anyway. Not really Hearthstone, but I don't know. It's just a new thing, and I enjoy watching it. My freaking kids love watching it. We were watching some of the Street Fighter V stuff, and Atlas was like jumping up and down off the couch.
That's
and
awesome.
He's just like, oh, he won, Dad, he won! Like he didn't care who won, just that somebody won.
Right.
That's awesome.
He did, buddy. He did. And my
sure
mother,
did.
Yeah. My mother-in-law was like, it's awfully violent for them to watch. It's Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is not even violent. And
right,
like,
there's no blood or nothing.
It's not as bad as like half the cartoons they watch, so we're okay.
Right.
But anyway.
I mean, they could be watching Mortal Kombat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, exactly.
I was gonna ask that earlier. Like, I feel old. Trevor said that Soul Calibur 2 was your first fighter. Is that a PS2 game?
Yeah.
My first fighter was Mortal Kombat, the first one on Sega Genesis, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's because I didn't grow up playing fighting games.
Yeah, you had good parents who were like watched and paid attention to what you were playing.
Right.
Oh no, dude! I used to back A. Backup guy.
Yeah.
And then if you or your Kano, you hold the A button, I think, for 3 seconds, and you can rip someone's heart out. Like that's the like.
Yeah.
I remember a couple things. I remember some things, but anyway,
Nice.
those were the days. Simpler time.
Those were the golden
Ripping
days.
people's hearts out.
Those were the golden days. Did you get?
Yeah, we've got a lot of these condensed game days coming up. With next Tuesday we've got the Resident Evil 7 DLC, PUBG. Tim's gonna be playing Fallout VR. And then
Oh, yeah. Doom VFR.
next month,
Right?
yeah,
He's got
he
that.
picked that up. And then next month we've got Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball on the same day. So
Yeah.
Yep.
we just got a shit ton of stuff all on the same day, which is, I don't know, it's kind of exciting. They're like mini holidays.
They are. They do feel like they're special days to look forward to break up the week.
Right,
Of course,
for sure.
when you get a new game on Tuesday and you're like, God, I wish it was Friday. But
Right.
Right, exactly.
get to power through that week with as little sleep.
Yeah,
as
they just
possible.
need to change the release dates for games like Nintendo and just have them all come out on Fridays. That way we can just start off with a weekend with them.
That's what makes
Right-
sense.
right?
To me. I don't know why
That
they
makes
don't
sense.
do that.
Yeah.
But actually, why don't they do that? Is there a reason? Have you ever heard a reason?
I've never heard of a reason. I'm sure there's probably some like market statistic that says Tuesdays are the games that are the days that games sell best on, or who
Right.
knows what it is.
Maybe like Tuesday, it comes out and some hype builds and stuff, and then people will buy it on Friday when they get paid or something like that when they have fresh money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who
That
knows?
makes no sense. But anyway,
But yeah, we've got lots to look forward to. That's for sure. Between all the games we'll be playing, and then Trey and Will's secret project we've got coming up. We've got our D&D Sundays.
yeah.
So we've got lots to keep us busy and lots to keep pushing through this new year and get us through the holidays. So definitely lots coming your way.
And not to mention,
And
we've got an AGDQ coming up pretty soon,
Oh, yeah.
like
Damn.
in a
Yeah.
month, I think. So that's awesome. Games done quick for those that don't know, and that is
All right.
gonna be amazing.
It always is. Always nice to just kind of, especially after, usually the one that comes after the holidays is always fun for me because usually that's when I play like the most games because everything usually comes out during the fall. So you're always playing games nonstop. Sometimes it's just nice to sit down and like watch some speed runs.
Yep.
Just kind of sit and relax, enjoy them. It's kind of like what I said earlier, kind of like a mini holiday. Like you look forward to all the games done, or both the games done quick throughout the year. And
They've actually already got the schedule up, and it starts on January 7th.
Oh, nice.
and it does not include Super Metroid.
Oh, you've
Really?
already looked through?
What's that?
You've already looked through?
I haven't looked at the schedule, but I just saw an article saying it didn't include Super Metroid, which is
This is
a pretty big deal.
It was the first one that hasn't had Super Metroid in forever, and I'm happy about
Yeah.
that. Like, I like a nice rotation. I understand that the Super Metroid race is a big deal, but I think to add some freshness, it would be good to see some new races.
Right.
Yeah, you got to rotate stuff
Yeah,
out
nice.
for sure.
I'm trying to.
You can only speed run a game so much, I guess.
Yeah,
Over and over.
I'm. Maybe you might want to cut this. I don't even know if I should say it. I'm trying to get. There's 3 people that are part of that speedrun team, or like are part of the main group that put that on. They're also announcers and stuff. I'm trying to get one of them to come on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be
I
sweet.
messaged all 3 of them, so we'll see if that works.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if that'll work.
For
I'm not
sure.
gonna say their names, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
But you guys have any other closing comments before we wrap up this
I
podcast?
can't remember. I thought we said
Anything else before we wrap up this podcast?
I have nothing.
I do not have anything either, other than the fact that I'm loving the new Hearthstone expansion. And if you don't play Hearthstone, you should check it out. Or if you do play
Yeah,
Hearthstone,
definitely,
you should check
yeah.
it out too if you haven't.
Definitely going to get into these matches with Zach right after this.
Yeah, it's fun. I feel a little gypped, but, whatever.
It's such a money sink. Like, I was talking
It
to my
is.
friends about this. It's such a goddamn money sink. That being said, like when a new set of Magic the Gathering comes out, like so I spent $60 or $70 on cards for this game, and I feel like a pretty significant portion of the cards. Like all I'm missing are the rare, like the big rare one. But like Magic the Gathering, man, like I would on a release night, I would drop $200-$300 on boxes.
Yeah, I just spend stupid amounts on that game.
I'd still like need cards for a deck, which you could sell the cards back in and stuff like that after that. But anyway, it's still pretty. I don't know. I like it. I really enjoy Hearthstone, and I think if I played it more, it'd be less of a money sink because I'd have more in-game gold to buy things. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm definitely gonna enjoy playing.
Yeah, and you start doing those dailies more often.
Yeah, like Tim does his every day, and he bought 20 packs worth. So there you
go. I will say, a new Miles Morales movie trailer. That was awesome. I'm so excited for that.
Spider-Man you showed me?
Yes.
Dude, that does look cool. That looks very cool.
I was a little sketch at first, and then I kept watching it, and I was like, yeah, I love this. This art style is dope.
As always, if you like the podcast, definitely hit subscribe. They come out every Monday at 1 p.m. on YouTube, Google Play, and iTunes. Also follow us on YouTube if you want to see some of the other videos we have. We also stream pretty much nightly on Twitch now, other than Sundays. Tim does most of the weekdays, and Trey covers the weekends. So definitely make sure you cover us if you like our content. Leave some notes as far as what you like, what you didn't like, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye.